Welcome to the podcast where we talk about all things mental health, healing, entrepreneurship, business tips, spirituality, dance, and so much more. And today we have a very special episode with a member from Pittsburgh Ballet Theater, Andre Gallan, on the upcoming Romeo and Juliet production being showcased front and center on Valentine's Day. Andre received his dance training at the Florida Ballet in Jacksonville and Orlando Ballet School and has joined PBT as a member of the corps in 2024. So that's amazing. Congratulations on the upcoming Romeo and Juliet production. And it's such a beautiful and emotional, timeless love story that everyone loves to reminisce in. What is your favorite
Absolutely.
part? Yeah, what is your favorite part about the production and dancing in it this year?
Oh my gosh. I'd say one of my favorite parts about this production has to be the Prokofiev score. The music for this ballet is so iconic and has so much depth and emotion. And I think the way Jean-Christophe Maillot, who's the choreographer of this a version of Romeo and Juliet, portrays that musicality is beautiful. It is very well done. I truly enjoy the movement that this production has. Um, Dancing Paris has been a very interesting time. I unfortunately had to step away to prioritize my own health. I'm dealing with the recovery, and so I won't be performing Paris, but throughout the process, it's been great working with my colleagues and um, portraying certain dynamics of the story. This love story has so many different themes going on and power struggles, so to speak. And so to get to play Paris, who was a big part of that struggle, was a pleasure. Yeah,
That's amazing. Yeah, it's so true. The music is so beautiful. I remember when young dancers, that's like their dream to listen to that music and to perform it. It's such a
100%.
like a magical
Yeah,
time loop.
and to have it done by PBC Orchestra is awesome. To have such a honed in group of musicians that really understand what our motivations are as dancers and have a history of working here. That live music is going to be a pleasure.
Yes, that's such a great added bonus when dancers are able to have that gift of live music. It just transforms the whole entire
Yeah,
production, I feel, and it brings
truly.
all the emotion and dancing to life so the audience can actually
Yeah, right to the
enjoy that.
surface. Yeah,
Yes,
you feel like
totally.
everything that's going on is live between the audience's experience and your dancing and the music being played. It's a very present moment when you have the orchestra.
Exactly. And no words. That's the magical beauty part of it.
Hmm. Yeah, absolutely.
And what age did you start dancing ballet? What was your beginning journey like?
Oh my gosh. I started dancing at a very young age. I'd say around 3 or 4. And you don't really know what you're doing at that
You're
point,
like
and
a
they're just trying to
baby.
stop you from, they're just trying to stop me from running around the room. But I stuck with it over the years. You find it becomes more and more part of your life as you move forward. When you're a child, you take maybe a couple classes a week at best, and then as you move into adolescence and teen years, it starts to become an after school activity every day, and yeah, it just catches on. I have a very supportive family and history in dance, so that was a it's been a long time.
That's amazing. Yeah, a lot of people have different experiences beginning that journey. Like I also started when I was like a baby, like 3. I just loved dance, so I was at the
Yeah,
studio just watching the girls. I couldn't take my eyes off of them. And it's interesting how there's different there's a diverse kind of experience where some people start when they're like babies and some people pick it up even later, like maybe even 10 years old or a little bit later. And I think it's interesting how just
yeah,
people can start at different ages, but I think when they're younger, they have that eye for it right away. So they have that kind of craving and they're kind of
absolutely.
yeah,
Yeah, it plants a
inspired.
seed very deeply. It
Totally,
plants a
yes.
seed very deeply in your understanding of dance and how you approach it. And I mean, I have friends that started when I started dancing, and they have nothing to do with it besides being an audience member now. So it's, it's beautiful what dance provides in other things besides just dance. I've At this point in my career, I've been able to look back on several years and acknowledge what a experience it's been, all the people you meet. Yeah, it's a very special thing.
Yeah, totally. And especially once you start to make your own decisions, you start to see if ballet is for you, or some parents, like,
Right.
and try to like push their kids to do dance. But once the kids get older, they realize, like, is this something that I want to do? Or has somebody kind of
Right.
want to enforce me to kind of do it? So that's also interesting.
Yeah, it's very true.
And what are your goals? Like you mentioned about like your mental health. So what are your goals now with dance and with life?
Yeah, I guess recently I've been thinking about that actually, and um a broad goal would be to find my way through life happily with the good and the bad as far as mentality, there's a sometimes removing the context of good and bad has helped, especially in dance when you can tell yourself that step wasn't bad, it didn't work. So mentally that's been a shift for me that I feel like leads into my goals of pursuing the art form post career of dancing, so as a life goal, I would love to remain in the theater, remain amongst the art, and being a part of it moving forward in time. Um, I think it's an honor to assist the younger generation as I grow a little older and I have advice for other people. I think it's a very special dynamic and leadership role. Um, It's my time here at PPT. I am just honored to be here, and I think the repertoire that we do crosses a lot of things off of my bucket list when it comes to goals. Um, yeah, it's been an interesting journey arriving here in Pittsburgh. This is my first season,
Oh,
and
wow.
so yeah, so it's been a whole um, revamping of the way I live my life and the perspectives I've had. So it's been a great process.
That's great. Yeah, that's very interesting. Especially like dancers, it's hard to kind of like create a stable kind of life, like life outside, because there's so much priority for rehearsals and preparing the body. So mentally, yeah,
Yeah.
it's like it's a whole thing.
It is. It definitely ties into it becomes your lifestyle in a lot of
Yeah,
ways.
totally. Yeah. And what do you love about dancing with Pittsburgh Ballet Theater? Like, I love that there's so many different theaters. And I remember I was going on to a little tour, and we looked at Boston Ballet, and I grew up as a kid performing with New York City Ballet. So the productions
Yeah,
are so
amazing.
beautiful there, like especially like Nutcracker, Sleeping Beauty, Midsummer. It's like as a kid, it's just completely magical. So what is your favorite part about that?
Yeah, I'd say it's always hard to pin one thing down. I think one of my favorite things about dancing for PBT and working here is the atmosphere within the studio when we are working, when it's serious, when it's time to let loose a little bit and just enjoy the day. There's always a great general consensus of what we're trying to do, and everybody works very well together, and it makes for a great work environment. I think that's very important because that's what we spend most of our time doing is in the studio. So to have that be a comfort place or somewhere where you feel you get good work done and you feel good about it afterwards, whether it's your colleagues encouraging, whether it's good direction and correction from the front of the room, being artistic staff. It's a safe space, and that's always a great area to work. I think Pittsburgh Ballet Theater has a very long-standing place in this community in Pittsburgh, and there's a great fine arts scene in Pittsburgh and arts in general, between the symphony, the ballet, and the opera. So it's a real treat to be amongst everything and to have opportunities like performing with PBT Orchestra, for instance. Like that would have to be very high on my list of favorites or things that I enjoy about working for PBT is that we have these resources and these, generous people within this community that understand the um, importance of what we do.
That's amazing. Yeah, that's really awesome to enjoy that and to partake in all of this excitement is pretty awesome. And
Yeah.
when is the production? Oh, it's coming up, I know, on Valentine's Day. And where can people buy tickets and get more information about
Yeah.
you and about PBT?
Absolutely. Well, you can kill two birds with one stone. If you wanted more information about me, any of our other dancers, if you wanted to look into the artists that are performing Romeo, Juliet, for instance, um, or you just wanted to purchase tickets because you know us so well already, pbt.org is the place to be. It has all of our season information, our subscriptions, our ticket sales. Everything can be found through that website. It's really going to be a lovely, lovely weekend to celebrate the spirit of love and the diversity that it has, and the tragedy that occasionally can occur through the most powerful forms of love. It's going to be Valentine's weekend, February 14th through the 16th. There will be four performances, two matinees and two evening shows. There will also be a student matinee on Thursday of that weekend. There will be $15 tickets for college students. So for any young lovers that would like to go have their hearts
Awesome.
spoken to by the production, yeah, that would be. It's an amazing show. I think the way Jean-Christophe created the mix of contemporary and classical ballet really allows for so much expression and stillness in times where it can really mean a lot. Um,
Yes.
yeah, it's been a wonderful production. The costumes are beautiful, very elegant, beautifully made, knitted and textured, and how they play obviously to the different houses and everything. It's been amazing. We just started this week piecing acts together in whole scenes.
Oh,
Um
fantastic.
and just oh, it's fantastic. And feeling the flow of how the story is told, understanding this production is unique in its own way because in many ways, but because it's told from the perspective of the friar. So there's this interesting, I would say almost cinematic effect of moments where attention is drawn elsewhere from the main tableau, and you understand that this is almost in the past, but it's happening for you in the present, and it's this whole like
It's a
interesting
multi-dimensional
flashback.
thing.
Yeah, yeah, it truly it truly is interesting to see how it all ties in and really how he channeled his creativity so greatly into this production. Um, so yeah, that'll be February 14th through the 16th. Um, it's gonna be awesome.
Wow, that's very exciting. Well, thank you so much for coming on and sharing about PBT, Andre. It
Absolutely.
was a really great and inspired conversation, and I hope a lot of people will come and join the production.
Thank you. I hope so as well. It was great to meet you, Ari.
Nice to meet you.